Good morning, students. Today I'm going to start chapter number 8, A King on the Run, of your favorite novel, The Prince and the Pauper. In the previous chapter, we read about John Canty. He planned to catch Edward Tudor, and he succeeded. John Canty was really a cunning man. He told his gang of thieves that his boy was mad. John Canty threatened to beat Edward, but the head of the gang, the big red-faced man, stopped him. Let's start to read chapter number 8. Please take out page number 39. A King on the Run. Look at the book, please, and listen attentively. I will ask questions in the end. Edward escapes. Edward learned many things from the beggars. He learned that not all of them were thieves. Many were honest men and women who had got into difficulties. Several of these people told him their stories. He began to realize that England was not a good place for everyone. I had a little farm, said one beggar, but a rich lord took away my land. I could not stop him. He was too powerful for me. I had no money, so I begged in the streets. The first time the police caught me, they whipped me. The second time they branded me. They burned me with a red-hot iron. Look, he showed Edward the red mark on his shoulder. The third time they cut off my ears. He lifted up his long hair, and Edward saw the place where the man's ears had been. I begged again. What could I do? I had nothing to eat, and they made me a slave, and they sold me in the marketplace. Look, they branded me again, here on my cheek, under all this dirt. Yes, class 4. Next page, please. Branding prisoner with red-hot iron. Yes, class 4, page number 40. Under all this dirt is the brand. Don't let anyone tell you that England is a free country, the man said bitterly. Edward felt like crying. When I get back to the palace, he said to himself, I will change those cruel laws. Yes, class 4. Edward realized that many of the beggars and thieves were forced into a life of crime by unjust laws. Yes, class 4, do you know what are unjust laws? Any law that degrades human personality is unjust, right? So, unjust laws can transform good people into criminals. But this is not for the people like John Canty. John Canty chose a life of crime. It was his own choice to be a thief. Many people who appeared disabled, for example, one had eye patched and another had a fake leg, revealed that they were in perfect health. Edward also realized that England was not a good place for everyone, or living in England was like hell for common people. One of the beggars started to tell Edward his story. Prince Edward was attentive and serious as he listened to his tale and heard of the ways that the laws of the land affect these people. He decided to announce it officially to end to the laws that allows such things to happen. Many of the people in the gang have been whipped, had their ears cut off, or were even branded and sold as a slave. Students, branded means they were marked on their body with hot iron. Isn't so cruel? The man told Edward that living in England was like hell. He kept begging until he was branded and sold as a slave. Edward was really upset. He quickly understood that he was forced into a life of crime by unjust laws. Look at the book, please. The crowd traveled from place to place, begging and stealing, while Edward waited for a chance to escape. That chance came one night, and he ran. He came to a farm and lay down on some straw in a stable among the animals. He was very tired and fell asleep almost at once. But in the middle of the night, he felt something touch his face. He woke up at once. What was that? He said to himself. He felt it again, a soft, light touch like a woman's hand on his cheek. He was most terribly frightened. He reached out into the darkness and felt something soft and warm. It was long and thin, like a rope. Then he realized what it was. A cow was standing quietly next to him, and he was holding her tail. Edward moved closer to her warm body. In a moment, he was asleep again. Yes, class 4. Edward was eagerly waiting for a chance to escape. The gang of thieves traveled from one place to another place. They snatched things from people. At last, one night, Edward got the chance. The Prince Edward quickly ran away, moving as far and as fast as he can. Then he found a farm of animals. He entered there and laid down on the straw and fell asleep. Suddenly he woke up in the middle of the night. He felt something on his cheek. It was like a woman's hand. He was terribly frightened in the dark. Soon he realized that it was cow's tail. Yes, the prince discovered that the cow was sharing the stall with him. It was standing quietly near him and he was holding his tail. Very soon he again slept. Look at the book, class. Next heading. Two little girls. He woke in the morning and saw two little girls staring at him. Who are you, boy? Asked one. I am the king. I am the king of England. The little girls looked at each other. Did you hear that, Marjorie? He says he is the king. Can that be true? It must be true, Prissy, because it is wrong to tell lies. Unless, of course, he is joking. Prissy thought for a moment. Are you joking? She asked. No, answered Edward. I really am the king. Next page, class. Page number 41. Yes, class. Page number 41. The little girls hurried away to tell their mother. When I rule England, thought Edward, I will always love and respect little children. Marjorie and Prissy believed me, when older and wiser people thought I was mad or bad. The children's mother thought Edward was mad too, but she was kind to him. She gave him breakfast and afterwards she gave him work to do in the kitchen. He speaks very nicely, she said to herself. Perhaps he was a servant in a great man's house. One thing was clear after a few minutes. Edward had never worked in a kitchen. He was no good at washing dishes. He did not know how to cut up vegetables. He worked very hard, but he did not know anything about housework. At last, the children's mother asked him to pick some fruits for supper. Edward went out with his basket and saw Canty coming down the road towards him. He dropped the basket and ran. Yes, class 4. In the morning, when Edward got up, he saw two little girls. They were observing him. They were Marjorie and Prissy. It was their farm. They began to discuss Edward. Edward told them that he was the king of England. After a brief discussion, they calmly accept his words. The girls brought Edward to their mother, who didn't believe him. She was a kind lady. She gave him breakfast. She tried to find out where he came from. She thought perhaps Edward could help her in the kitchen work. But Edward knew nothing about houseworks. At last, the mother of Marjorie and Prissy gave him a basket and sent him outside to bring some fruits for the evening meal. Edward went out, but when he saw John Canty approaching to him, he left the basket and hurried down a narrow lane away from the house. Yes, students, tomorrow I shall explain you the remaining part of this chapter. Thank you.